Welcome back, everybody, for your monthly reading and forecast with Tamara. In this part one video, we're driving into the incredible journey of Teymara, Australia's leading transformational therapist, motivational trainer, and holistic life coach whose work has helped thousands of people worldwide break through trauma, change subconscious programming, and live with purpose. Her expertise spans clinical hypnotherapy, nutritional science, conflict resolution, NLP, and more, all grounded in transforming lives from the inside out. From empowerment programs like Born to Be Free to VIP one-on-one transformational sessions and keynote speaking engagements across the globe, Tamara has built a life devoted to helping people become who they were truly meant to be. For the first 45 minutes of this video, this is specifically what we speak on. After about 45 minutes of this video, we get into the horoscope, the forecast for February 2026, where we will end this video. Part 2 can be found over on RUMBLE, where we go into more current events. I hope you enjoy. Please remember to like and share to help the channel out.
Oh.
Hello, everybody. We're here on the new system with Tamara. I was telling you I'm still getting used to StreamYard, but I feel fancy now that we actually have special buttons we can press.
It's like I'm going like, oh my God, what am I doing?
We're moving up in the world. We're moving up in the world. And I do actually watching that tomorrow. Before we get into that, I want to remind my audience, as it has been for 6 years now, the main song that I use for my opening is a song that was written by one of my friends, my longtime friends, who was in the band Alika's Attic with River Phoenix. I don't know if I've ever told you this.
Oh my God, no.
And he
No,
lives
you
in
haven't.
Georgia now. He's very I know, let's just say I know what happened to River Phoenix. And I don't know if I've ever told you tomorrow. I can't say it publicly on air because it would put my friend in harm's way. But he lives in Athens, Georgia now, and that's a huge music. And he was in Deer Hunter. And so when I first opened my channel back in the dark ages of YouTube, before everything got crazy, YouTube required you to have an opening, like an opening song. And YouTube Studio does have free music you can use, but I thought, what a way to help out my friend. And so my opening song is done by Josh McKay. He does have a Wikipedia page. And so if you guys are interested, I always keep a link down in the description box below where you can purchase the whole song if you want to, or go get more information on Josh. Yes, tomorrow. And I hate to tease that to the audience. That's a story I need to tell you off camera.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Please. Yes,
River
please.
Phoenix
Yes,
did
please.
not.
Yes, please.
It's what
Yeah.
you think it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
what you
Absolutely. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
so for those who I've gotten a lot of new subscribers too, Tamara. And so you guys, if
Cool.
you're new here to Esoteric Atlanta, this is my dear, sweet, amazing, wonderful friend, one of my soulmates. She lives over in Australia. She's had quite a remarkable life experience herself, and she's got wicked spidey senses, and she knows how to read the stars and read the numbers. And so she comes on once a month at least. Sometimes, depending on what's going on in the world, we do multiple shows a week, but at least once a month to give you a forecast for what's to come in the next upcoming month, which is February of 2026. And you guys, if you are new to my channel, please make sure to go over to, if you're watching this intro on YouTube, please go over to RUMBLE and make sure to follow Teymara. If you're watching this from RUMBLE, there will be a link to her RUMBLE channel in the description box below. YouTube is very weird, doesn't even like us saying other platforms' names, and so that's why I have to spell it. So please make sure, if you are new here, to check out Teymara. I will also be putting a link to Teymara's website down in the description box below for anybody who wants a private reading a private birth chart session with her, all that information is down below. You have light years of experience, Tamara. You've gone around the world working with people, and this is truly your service to humanity. So I think
Yeah, it's like somebody said to me, because I was just down visiting family in Tasmania, because they've gone to Tasmania to live. So, and it's like, and we've got birthdays because this is a birthday month. So I have all these Aquarians in my life, don't I? Yes, I do. Like
bless your heart.
including you. So we've got to organise for you to do your updated session so we can see what's going on
Oh
around you
man,
for the next
Aquarius, I always
year. Let's see what's happening with you with the next year, hey?
well, I will say, can we?
Yeah.
I gotta brag on you, Tamara, because I've said this before. Back, I think you did my first chart 2021, something around that time frame. I don't remember the exact date, but it was around
I don't
2020,
know.
2021, something like that, years ago.
It's when we started. So
Yes,
we're at our six-year
6 years.
anniversary.
So 2020, I think you did my chart.
Yeah.
You said something. So for my people who are new here, are not new and haven't heard the story, most people know that before YouTube, before the lockdown happened, I am the only female in the state of Georgia to carry a certain authorization to teach traditional yoga. I spent many years in India. Never thought I would be on YouTube. You know, God had other plans, right? And so, but my whole focus outside of YouTube has been traditional yoga. That's Ashtanga. That is what I've done. And I broke my sacrum back in 2016, and I actually healed it through the practice of bar, which is comes from dance. It's a rehabilitation. It was actually created in the 1950s by a ballerina who had a
Yeah.
back injury, who used ballet and I used that to recover my sacrum for Ashtanga. But I had such a benefit with it that I started to do it as well, like practice bar as well. And at this point, Tamara, you said to me, first thing you said is, you said, I'll never forget sitting on camera with you in the same room you're in now. And you said, you're going to do something with this traditional education that you've received. This knowledge is really important. It's part of your path. But you're going to evolve, and you did your arms like this, dance. Because you're like, I don't really, it's like you're going to have dance involved with this traditional, and you had no idea that I was doing bar on top of myself. I wasn't teaching it publicly. Then,
Yep.
Tamara, you said, by the time you're 43, which is how old I'm going to be on Wednesday,
Oh my God.
you will have an online presence where you're going to teach people. And I thought, nah, that's not going to happen. I only teach face to face.
You sound so much like me. Okay. Oh no, I'm not gonna do that. No,
I'm not,
no.
I'm a hands-on teacher. I adjust people. Well, then a few years after that, I met our mutual friend Paula, who's also in Australia. And she was like, Bryce, I have this idea. I think we should open up an online academy where you can teach physical exercise through the lens of traditional yoga. And I'll be damned if tomorrow was not correct, because that, guys, is Fusion Body Studio. So that was predicted in my chart by Tamara. So if you guys, to make a long story short, if you have a reading with Tamara and she says something and you're like, no, just wait.
Yep, just wait.
Just wait.
Yep, it'll come. It'll come. It'll come. Yeah. It's
It'll
like
come.
I have a great crew on the other side,
Yeah.
and as
You have,
Lionel Richie said, when somebody when I was over and I was visiting with Lionel, and it was after he had separated from my closest girlfriend on the planet, his first wife, Brenda. He's the guy that was like his cook and houseboy and, did all of that in this house. He said, how do you do your work? How do you do what you do? And I went, well, and he said, and when did you start? And I said, well, I started like in the 70s. Yeah. And he went like, oh my God. And he said, well, like, he said, Lionel has told me some things about you and what you have done, like, with for him. And he said, but I was just wondering, like, I just really want to know how does it work? How do you do it? Well, Lionel sat there and he said, well, it's like this. there's a radio, you see. And he said, and you know how you turn and you tune the radio in to get right on the station that you want to listen to. And this guy said, yes. He said, well, that's her. It's a tuning in of a radio, and she hits a frequency and she hears things. But not only that, she sees things, and not only that, she feels things.
Yeah.
And I went, and then she smells. She'll go, I can smell this, right? And I just looked at him and I went, you're an absolute little shit, right? And he just laughed because, I had known him at that point in time probably for, would it be 6 years, 6 or 7 years? It's now 38 years since we first met. But then it was about like 6 years. And I went, so you've known this? He goes, yeah, yeah. And he
And
said,
you,
he said, it's the same with me. It's like I hear melodies, and yeah. So, and he's given, like lyrics, and yeah.
yeah,
So
it's he's channeling.
that's,
Well, and I repeat your story. The story about when you met Lionel Richie, I think, is the funniest story I've
oh, look, it's a
ever heard.
hoot.
Where you went back, like his wife brought you on to give him a reading, and you went backstage after a concert, and he was like, "Oh, I don't believe in this stuff," and you said, "It's okay, I don't like your music," or something
Yeah,
like
no,
that.
it wasn't Brenda, it was the keyboard player, because all of the band and all of the roadies and everybody that was on tour on that, it was the Outrageous World Tour. And that's when he had Dancing on the Ceiling. And the Dancing on the Ceiling, they would do like, oh, it was just amazing, like wires coming
Pathetic.
down, and they
Yeah.
were on it, and they would actually be with their legs up. It was just like amazing, absolutely amazing. Anyway, so the guys said, they kept on going to Lionel and Brenda, poor Lionel and Brenda, going, you've got to see this woman, it's like she's weird, she's really weird. It's like, she's told me stuff that it's like nobody knows about me, and it's like she's just weird. You have to see her. And all of them would all come, and then they'd go to Lionel and Brenda, and they'd be going like, no, no, we don't believe in it. No, we don't believe in it. No, we don't believe in it. So then it came the last night in Melbourne, because he always starts his Melbourne tours in Australia. And the first is always Melbourne. Melbourne's the first cab off the rank. Anyway, so I go to the last night, and he said, and the guy said, the tickets will be there, and there's backstage passes. Just come, yeah. And these are their details. So he was able to give me the details. So I sat up, until fairly late in the night, doing them all, recording them. Then were on tape. And then I was sitting there, and I got, okay, you've got to write this. So I was just writing, and what came through was, God gives each and every person with a talent.
Yeah.
Your thank you to God is to find the talent and to do some, and have the courage to do something with it. His thank you to you, oh, that's right. Your thank you to God is to find it and then do something with it. His thank you to you is all that you will achieve in the world and more. That was
That's
it. And I wrote all of that out. So the charts were done, the tapes were there, and then he opened up the parchment paper, and then there was this, and my sort of forms that I worked with back then were just beautiful. It was like it was gold. It was just beautiful. And he just read it, you know, and Brenda said to me he opened this thing and was just standing there and just read it, and then looked at Randy and said, where is she? And he said, she's in next door. He said, go get her. Go get her. So Randy came, he goes, he wants to see you. I went, what? He wants to see you. Oh, okay. All right. Right. And there was me, all of 5'1". 5'1". It's like in size size between size 2 and size 4, about a size 3, in like a white jumpsuit with white high heels on, and opened up the door, and he was on the other side of the room, and he turned and he looked and he went, "You're her?" And it was like, yes. He gets, "But you're little." I went, "Yes." Very indignant. "Yes." And he said, "And you're normal. You're normal." And I went, yes. So he expected somebody who was overweight with a big caftan and a big thing
A
on,
little
yeah,
turban.
yeah, and with a turban on its head, yeah. And I mean, it was so funny. And he said, "Come in, come in, come in." So, okay, and he went, like, "I'm Lionel." I go, "Yes, I know." And I said, "And I'm Tamara." And he goes, "Yeah, right, right." And then he just laughed, right? So then he went, "Come over and meet my wife. This is Brenda." And Brenda was just very, very like, yeah, like, "Hello." And it
Yeah.
was like, "Ooh, ooh, okay. All right. Okay." So he said, "Please sit down, sit down." He said, "Okay, before we start, I have to tell you something." I said, "Yep." And he said, "We don't believe in any of this." And I went, "Oh, that's okay." I said, "I'm not a fan of yours and I don't have any of your records. So does that make us even?" And he just roared with laughter. She roared with laughter because then she realized I wasn't a groupie. Yeah. So then that was it with Brenda and myself. We just connected. We just connected immediately. So then we sat down and we were going through everything. And what I'm telling you, he already spoke about that 10 years after I met them with the media here in Australia. So we have the Sun newspaper, and there was this big like spread about Lionel Richie in the middle of it, and a really really great spread. And then there's a section of in these 4 pages of all this information about him. It's like it's all in the stars. And it's like, and I was in a coffee shop with my daughter, and I didn't have my glasses, so because I couldn't read. And I go, and I just said to her, I said to her, "Oh, what's that?" It's saying like it's all in the stars. And she's reading it. She looked at me. She goes, "Mum." I said, "Yeah." She said, "It's about you." I said, "That's not." She goes, "Mum." Okay, she goes, "It's about you. It's about you and the work that you did with him and with Brenda." I went, "No, no." She goes, "Yeah, it is." So, and he had said this, yeah, and he said, and we sat there, and she's talking, and we're going, "Yeah, okay," and explaining things, and all of a sudden she said something, and it was like, "Hold on a minute, um, what did you just say?" And I went, um, uh, blah 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 blah, and he went, "How do you know that?" And I went, "Oh shit, oh gee," and I went, uh, "I just do." He said, "But how?" And I went, oh. I said, "Well, it's sort of like, I just like I get told things." And he went, "Oh my God." He said, "There is 2 people on the whole of this planet that know what you just said, her and me." Okay, so now let's get serious. When we finish, we're about to leave here. Where are you going? I said, "Well, I've got to go back to the hotel where you're staying because I've actually parked my car there." He said, "Great. So you're coming in the limousine with us back to the hotel." And he said, "And we need to talk to you." And I went, "Okay." So is that all right? And I went, "Yeah, that's okay." Right. And like, that was it.
That was
That
it.
was it.
But that's so true what you said about I got chills when you said that because I do believe that we are meant to work. We're just not meant to be enslaved. And there's a difference.
Absolutely.
When you're doing your dharma, when you are passionately working on something you're good at and you naturally are good at, but you love it,
Yep.
you're in alignment with your spirit's in alignment with what you came here to do. And I
Yep.
feel that way about traditional yoga and Eastern philosophy. And like you said, it's in my chart. Like this was obviously something that my soul aligned with.
Yeah.
And so it is important. I think sometimes, Tamara, especially in the truther community, I think there's a little bit of confusion about that because we think of work, we've been programmed, which you work a lot with breaking programming. We've been programming
Mm.
to feel like we have to labor for
Yep.
someone else, for a corporation, for a
Yep.
paycheck. That work is not supposed to necessarily be fun. Well, who
Yep.
says? We are
That's right.
supposed to work and it's supposed to
Yep.
be enjoyable. It's supposed to be our
That's
passion.
right.
It's
Well,
supposed
that's
to
what's coming in. That's what's going to come in. Whereas
Yes.
people like you and me and like and Lionel, but even when I look at him, I go, oh God, I wouldn't be him if you paid me,
No.
because he's got a manager, he's got a record deal. It's like they own them. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you are going to do this, and you're going to go on. We're going to do a tour, and you're going, and he can't say, "Well, I don't want to do that,"
Right. You have to. Well,
because
that's what I feel.
you have to. Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
I feel about my friend Josh, who does my opening music.
Mm,
I feel like in a lot of ways was saved because at a very young age, he saw the reality of what was going on in Hollywood with his friend River Phoenix.
yeah,
And he's been able to stay indie. He's been able to stay more in the indie music scene and not
yeah,
have to completely like, so he's still able to make music. And that's one thing I think we've talked about this a lot, Tamara. And for some reason, I guess God wants us to speak about it again. When we look at like the entertainment industry, when we look at film, music, theater, we know that there's corruption there.
yeah,
But you and I both talked about this. I would guess 99% of the people involved in this are really good people who have a passion for entertain art, any art expression. That's a service to others. You're serving. Lionel is serving you when he
yeah.
sings. He's helping
Absolutely.
your
Yeah,
soul.
yeah.
And
But the thing is, it's like he's one of his soul is a part of the group that I talk about that
yeah,
only makes up 5% of the world's population, So the people that I actually work with and do the readings for, and it's like they're all been of that group.
yeah.
They've all been of that group because for somebody to want me to read for them, they align with my energy. Yeah.
And they know
And
there's
it's like
more to their soul. They know there's something missing. And
this, yeah,
for us
yeah,
people watching, like judge Hollywood harshly for the CEOs, for the 1% that's kind of puppeting. But these people like Lionel Richie, most of these actors, they really are doing they're creating art, and
yeah.
so we can't judge them too harshly when we don't have the full story because I think you and I have been two of the like truther people that have been like, wait, we can't judge everybody, we can't paint everybody with the same brush, we have to
No, no,
this is
no, no,
nuance.
because people would go like, oh, like, well, the entertainment industry in Hollywood, it's all sort of chunked together, and it's like, and I told my story, and I've shared it in regard to the people that made Anthony Robbins,
Yes.
because of all of the transformational subconscious work that I do with my seminars, and now working a lot more one-on-one with people, which has just been like amazing. But with them, it's like they put everything together. They wanted me. They had everything all worked out, signing of all of the contracts, and then at the last minute they changed a clause. And I said, I can't sign this. It's like, excuse me. It's like, I can't sign this. Why? Because you've changed a clause. And I said, that's not in integrity. If I signed this, I would not be in integrity. And they went, but it's only this. And I went, no, you don't understand. You don't understand. It's like I would be out of integrity if I signed this. And they went, but you can't be serious. I went, oh yeah, I'm serious. And I went, they said to me, these men around this time, they went, you could be making like millions of dollars by signing and doing this. And I went, no, no, I'm not signing. They said, you'd walk away from millions of dollars. Yeah, yeah, because I've said I'm walking away with my integrity. And and the thing is, it's like as I say to people, with this, when you do this for money, you're selling your soul. You
Yeah.
are selling your soul when you sign something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know that it's not, you will not be in integrity if you go ahead with that. It's like you'll never be happy. Your life will be absolutely miserable. And like I've said to Lionel all the way through, over the years, just remember, it's not you. Just remember, it's your gift from God.
Yeah.
That's your voice. That's your gift from God. The melodies that you get, the lyrics that you get, all of that you got, the same as Michael. Michael was the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, and with Lionel, and I said to him that his music, his gift of his music from God was to lift people up and to have them feel. Yeah. And it's like, and all of those songs that he had back there, like in the 80s, they still, they
I
still,
use I
still,
use Michael
yeah,
Jackson songs all the time for my bar classes. I all the time.
yeah,
It's and
yeah,
that's one thing with art channeling with Lou that we've learned, that like dance is so important because it moves the blood through the body, which is the Shakti, the life force of this. It's what the soul creates in matter, and
yeah,
it's that functioning through the body, clearing the body out. And one thing
yeah.
too that you and I are lucky because we work for ourselves. We can set our own prices, and we don't have to obtain.
Absolutely.
I
Yep,
can,
absolutely, Bryce. And like, and Lionel's got the most beautiful home, but you'll
yeah,
turn a corner and there'll be Italy, and you'll turn another corner and there will be something else from another part of the world. And then you'll turn the corner and there will be something else from another part of the world. I go, this is just beautiful. And I said, what made you think of this? He said, because I can never go on a holiday.
that's sad.
I can
That's
never go on a
really
holiday and just have peace
that's
everywhere I
really
go in the
yeah,
world. And I remember him saying, like at the concert, one of the early concerts when I first met them, and he said we went up the river in the Amazon, and the kids were swimming over with my album for me to sign it, autograph it in the Amazon. It's like unbelievable.
yeah.
So
You're talking about
everywhere he goes, everybody knows Lionel Richie. But he's the most, out of all of the people that I've ever worked with, he is the most down to earth, genuine, caring bloke. He just is.
you can tell he doesn't care where people come from, like how there he
Yeah,
doesn't he to me, he's like he looks like he's a dad, he's a granddad, and he really loves
yeah,
his children and his family.
yeah.
And that is sad. Like I love that. And I feel bad for him that he has to be kind of managed by someone else, whereas you and I manage ourselves with our
And we're
businesses.
lucky. We are so, so lucky. And the thing is that he's got that energy that both of us have got in our charts, which is the energy of freedom. Yeah,
Yeah.
we do not like being restricted in any way, shape, or form. And he's got that in his chart, but he's had it work. He's just made it work for him.
Yeah.
He's made it work for him, and I so admire him and respect him for everything that he's done.
And
Like
let's be
everything
honest,
that he's done.
as I have not once in the 6 years that I've been studying and snooping on and investigating this establishment, this group that puppets, not once, the Illuma Shmati, as we say on my channel, not once have I heard Lionel Richie's name dropped at any
That's
party,
right. That's
at
right.
any island, at any
Yep.
campsite. Not
Yep.
once has his
Nope.
name been mentioned at all.
Nope. Nope.
Not once.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
That
Nope.
speaks volumes.
Yep. And he had like his mum, I just loved his mum, and yeah, yeah, his mother was just like lovely. I never got to meet his dad, but I got to meet like his sister Deb. Um, but yeah, like his mum she was lovely. And then I got to read for her when they were in Australia at that time for that tour. And she then turned around to Lionel and Lionel said, how was that? And she said, she's just told me a whole lot of things about my life that not even you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like,
That's
and
special.
it's like, and I just go, well, I just thank God. I just thank God. I say, God, you're just amazing. God's amazing.
Yeah.
God's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Well,
And Jesus was the coolest dude. The
well, I
coolest dude that
feel
ever
like
walked the planet.
before we even get into the forecast, I feel like God is like talking through us right now.
Yeah.
I want to like just advertise that for a second because again, we talked how you do charts, but you also do for my new audience and maybe even my old members, not old, but my OG people, maybe you didn't realize that Tamara also works with programming and mental like thoughts that are limiting that we might not even realize we have. And I want to like emphasize that, you guys, that when we're little, we were born into this world. Like I always say, like I love all my nieces and nephews, but when they're toddlers, that is the funniest age because they walk around like drunk adults. Toddlers do, they just randomly take their clothes off. You can't understand what they're saying. They're shitting their pants all the time. But those toddlers are so special because they know God. They know
Yep.
who they are. They know what they like to do. And then we go
Yeah.
to school and we get conditioned to think that we have to do these other things. So I think sometimes as an adult, Tamara, that our souls get so smashed because we're not in alignment with our dharma, like with you
Yeah.
said, your dharma. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
part of what you do too, is like work on breaking that programming so that
Mm,
people can reestablish themselves in alignment
yeah.
with God. And
Yeah.
so
That's
if you
it.
guys,
Yeah. Because we've come in with our own special blueprint.
yep,
And whereas other people that do work that's sort of similar, they will go, well, you've got to model yourself on somebody, or you've got to imagine yourself as you want to be like that person, what that person's doing. So then you have to just model yourself on them. And I'm there and I'm going this time, and I'm sitting there, I'm going, nah, no, no, that's not the way that it's done. And it was like, you are born with your soul's energy, and you have a special blueprint. But from birth to the age of 10, if you are surrounded by adults that have a younger soul energy than your
yep,
soul's vibration, they are going to end up programming you. Plus, we've got media, we've got everything else. Yeah.
yeah,
So we actually form fears as well as negative beliefs. Like
yeah,
we were born clear. We were born clear. Yeah. We were born pure. We didn't have fears. We didn't have negative beliefs. And this is what I say to people. But when you were born, you didn't have all of this. You didn't have fears. You didn't have negative beliefs. So where did you get them from?
yeah,
And people go, wow. And I go, yeah, wow. And then we start talking about it, and it's like, well, it's like, well, I've always had that, and then I've always had this, and I said, right, okay, so do you want to get rid of it? And they go, yeah. I go, great, all right, let's get rid of it. But then what I do is that with all of the processes that I've learned, and then I take them back to before all of this occurred. I take them back when they had all of the parts necessary in order to be this positive energy.
yeah,
But I've got to remove all of the negative out to then leave space for all of the positive to go in.
yeah. So it like heals.
And
It's
it's like
like,
it's just fascinating. And then the journey of all doing all of the study, and then I knew that I had that something was missing. Something was missing, and I would just be saying to God all the time, I'm missing something. I'm missing something, because I don't want people coming back in a month's time saying, oh, I've still got that, or it's come back, because it shouldn't come back. It should
right.
be able to be taken away and then replaced with their initial blueprint, because
Yeah,
our initial soul's blueprint is pure. and it's positive. It's positive energy. So you've got to get that back in. But you've had these parents and school teachers and whatever that have, that have basically like messed with you, messed
Terrorize
with you,
you. Yeah.
yeah,
Terrorize you.
at a subconscious level. So you create these fears and that and these negative beliefs, and then they run you in your life until you get to a point where you nearly go crazy and just go, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
And that's what I, and then when I was doing all of that and then working with people, and then they were coming back, and I went, nah. So I said to God, right, okay, now listen, look, it's me here, and there's something missing, because I'm wanting people to be free. So then the seminar became Born to Be Free. So I said, I want people to be free. They have to be free of all of this. And and it's never to come back. So there's something missing. And then that's when I found the work in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when I went and did the work there, then with Uncle George Naopi and some others, like amazing Hawaiian, and it's Hawaii. Amazing, like other Hawaiians that had the gift of the healing in the body with certain herbs and certain branches and certain leaves. Yeah, so I had something, and then they bought me this bag with all this stuff in it, and I go, so what do I do with this? And they go, well, you put this into a pot and you boil it in pure water. Yeah, and then you strain it, and then you just drink this. Just drink it. Just sip it during the day. I mean, just the most amazing people, and that's where I learned, and I found the missing piece. I
Yeah.
got it. I got the
Yeah.
missing piece,
As
and
even
so
the
yeah.
Bible says, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be opened unto you. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
amazing, you guys. I pulled up Tamara's website here in the course. This will be in the description box below, especially for my new viewers and viewers who just didn't know this about Tamara. Please make sure that you go to her website to learn more about her and her. For overseas, you can do virtual face to face for the charts. So if you're not
Yeah.
Australian, you
And
click
what
here.
we've done is that where it's got book an insight session, you click on that, and it will take you to, and it's got for overseas. It's
Yes.
got overseas, and then it also has Australians. Now on the overseas one, because the majority of people from overseas are through our doing our sessions together, Bryce.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've actually put in the discount price for Americans. So when you go to that, you're already getting a good discount. Yeah,
Yes,
which
so a
is like, yeah.
reminder to the Americans and to the Canadians and anybody else who uses the dollar. Australia also uses dollar. So I see here you have like for the 2 hours, 250 United States dollar,
Yep,
which is
yep,
380 Australian. So do
yep.
not be confused by that. That's just the monetary exchange rate, but it is so valuable, guys. It's a great gift to give people as well. I feel like if you don't know what to get people, that this is an incredible gift. And it really, I will say, because I think too, Tamara, when you come from a certain soul cluster back to earth is it's a beautiful place to live. We got beautiful things like beautiful flowers and beautiful landscapes, but it's a thick density, it's a thick body. And so sometimes I think when we take that gamble to do something different, because I know I'm very different from my family, I've not followed the conventional path, to have that validation that you're
Yeah.
doing the right thing helps you combat that programming as well, you know? And so
Well, I think it's like with so many people, they just get this inner drive, this
yeah,
inner energy of like, this is what I want to do, and this is where I'm finding myself, like this is the direction I'm wanting to take, but something keeps on stopping it, or I get blocks, or I get problems. Like I've got a guy at the moment who's over in he is South African, and spends time in Dubai. But he said, I am just over these immature women. Right, and I think I where they've come from in the
Oh,
grouping.
absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he said it's just driving me insane. And he said, and I'm being wounded like all the time, over and over again. But he said, and I just want to be cleared of that. And I said, well, when we look at things like that, I said, we also have to have a look at the mother. And I said, because there will be mother issues, which has you attracting in the women that are like that, the
Yeah.
women that do that type of behavior. So once we resolve all of that to do with your mum, and then the other result of that is what fear or what negative belief has been a part of that. So we clear mum, and then we also clear that fear or that particular pattern, and then boom, then he's out there in the world, and he will no longer attract in the sort of women that he's been attracting in, because your
Yeah.
subconscious mind's got a power of 90%. So it's like a magnet that will pull to it, whatever and whomever, to match whatever is at that subconscious
Like
level.
a scratch in the record. You said
Yeah.
something to my boyfriend that he is still, it was like in Sanskrit, it's called a prativa. Sanskrit, it means a flash of illumination, like that light bulb moment. And you said this prativa moment, my boyfriend's trying to, as we all are, he has one parent who's very controlling and kind of mean and nags. And he has the propensity to do that sometimes, and he's aware of it. He's been trying to stop it and trying to
Yeah.
figure out why he is mimicking the parent he doesn't want to mimic. And
That's
you
right.
said something that it was just that's prativa. You said, oh, well, when he was a child, this particular parent won the cookie. This
That's
particular
it.
child kept control. And so when you're a young child and you're looking for that parent that's going to keep you alive, that and it was like a light bulb went off in his head. And since that he was able to recognize why subconsciously he repeats these very toxic patterns,
Yep.
he's been able to catch it, and he's been breaking them because he
Yep.
understands that it's a false sense of security that the little boy in him reacted to. Because you
Yeah.
even ask, well, does the other parent combat the controlling parent or submit? And I said the other parent submits, and you were like, that parent won the cookie. As
That's
Todd
it.
Boy saw, this parent had won the cookie, and so he was
That's
gonna,
right.
and that literally has changed that one piece of information because it was
Hmm.
so like, that's right. That's exactly what a child is going to do. It has literally changed his frequency.
Yep.
Just that one notion has
Yeah.
literally changed everything for him and our relationship because
Yeah.
recognize,
Yeah. Because then that can come in, and then that can create problems in your relationship, the relationship that he has with you.
yeah, yeah,
And that's what happens with so many people. They have relationship after relationship after relationship. Yeah. And
yeah,
like I say to people, like I married three men that were all the same. And it was when I got to the third one, and then that's when I like prayed to God to, like, please give me an answer, not only for my clients but also for me. Right. And then that's when I learnt that. So then I created my own techniques, and then I did that on myself. And it's like, lo and behold, like, I cleared stuff, and it's never ever come back. So, and it never ever came back, and then and that never came back, and that never came back, and that never came back. And
yeah,
then I check in with people and go like, well, how about this? They'll come in with their issues, and then I have a number scale. Okay, so on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 means it's gone, 10 means it's bigger than Texas. What number would you give to this? And then they may have like some people will have like 25 issues that they want to clear to do with a parent that comes up. Yeah.
yeah,
And we do all of the numbering. So then we do all of the process, and I do all of that and do all of that clearing. And then they've got to go for a walk up and down the street to get the left and right sides of the brain working together. Yeah.
yeah.
And then they come back and they sit down. They go, okay, right now, what number would you give to this? And they look at me and they go, What number to what? What number would you give to this? Blah. And they go, it's gone. They go, it's gone. They go, yeah. And I went, so, right, gone. Yeah. So what number? They go, 0. And I go, right, okay, cool. And then I go, and they just look at me and they go, is this normal? And I go, yeah,
For
it's
this work,
normal.
it's normal. Yeah.
They go, how do you do this? How do you do it? I don't know.
God.
I don't know.
Well, you
Yeah.
you said something so important there because you just validated what like ancient philosophy, the Vedic texts say, 5,000-year-old texts. You said they have to go for a walk to get the right and left brain. Exercise is foundational to this because it gets the blood pumping and it clears. You
Yeah.
are carrying like the second sutra of the Yoga Padas is Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta is the brain, Vritti is thoughts. Every subconscious thought and conscious thought gets programmed in the body too.
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
one thing to like think, you can't think yourself into enlightenment. You have to like move the energy. And so that's why exercise is like foundational to get the blood pumping, the life force to then manage the brain, the different sides of the brain, and also the different elements of exercise or of energy patterns in the body. And so that's my gift. That's what I think God gave me. As you
Yeah.
said, for my chart was understanding that connection.
Yeah.
And it's so important. It can be something as complicated as a marathon to something as simple as a walk,
Yep.
as long as your
Yeah.
blood is pumping. And so,
So long as you, yeah, and it's like you can do your vibrational platform.
yeah.
I do a vibrational platforms 3 times a day, and then that keeps all of your lymphatics
Mhm.
functioning properly as well. Yeah. And then I go to adult ballet classes on a
Listen,
Wednesday. Wednesday night is my ballet time.
listen, I have my friend Cindy takes ballet from a Russian ballet teacher, and I'm like, I think your Russian ballet teacher is stricter than my Indian yoga teacher. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they are. They can be
she
really
said
strict.
she told me a
Yeah.
story once that the teacher they had done their little it was a bunch of adults too. They had done their routine and the Russian teacher just looked at them and goes, "That was terrible." She said everybody in the class just started busting out laughing. And that just having that sense of humor, being able to just
Yeah.
laugh and the
Yeah.
predicaments of life is so important as well. Well,
Yeah.
tomorrow I know we weren't planning on saying talking about all that, but I
Well,
feel
but what are our sessions like? What like we always just go with the flow. It's
yeah,
like,
let
and
spirit do.
we just know that whatever it is that we talk about is meant to be talked about. So here we are.
So
So
now
our
let's get to the
January, right? Our
February.
January that
February.
we have just, yeah, but January we're just finishing off.
Finished it.
Ashtanga yoga is considered to be one of the hardest forms of yoga out there. It is one of the 3 remaining lineage-based yogas, and it is also considered to be the punk rock of yoga. Part of what makes Ashtanga so hard is the jump back and jump through sequencing that is held in all 6 series. So if you're ready to take your Ashtanga practice to the next level, then you're going to love this new workshop video created specifically for you on Fusion Body, a studio by senior teacher Todd Roderick. This is a mastery class that's designed to help you unlock that light floating strength that you've probably always wanted. If you've ever wondered how people make these transitions look effortless, this is where you learn the secret. Core activation, bandha engagement, shoulder stability, and the smooth rhythm of breath that carries your body through space. This class is low pressure, step by step, and accessible for every level. Whether you're refining your flow or starting from the basics, you'll build confidence, control, and that signature Ashtanga glide. And right now, you can get 20% off your first 6 months at Fusion Body Studio with discount code BRICE20. That's BRICE 20. That's unlimited classes, mobility training, strength flows, breath work, and more, anytime, anywhere. So if you're ready to lift, float, and flow with power, join us at Fusion Body Studio. Unlock your potential, and don't forget to use the discount code at checkout. Everything you need to start your journey is down in the description box below. Now back to the show.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So January was about relationships, and it's called Can We Work Together or Not? Higher vibration was that of Jesus Christ. The lower vibration was trying to see if a relationship is working. Can we get this working together? Because it's not the energy of the individual, it's the energy of the two. Yeah, you and me, that country and this country. Well, I mean, has that been? I mean, yeah, when you listen, because I don't listen back, but people are always messaging me going, oh my God, this has happened and you said, and blah, blah. Yeah. So it's like it's all of this. So January's been about all of these different countries. And then Davos did it for me. I was in stitches. That, I mean, I just love that man. I love that man. He's the coolest dude. Davos, and I said to somebody, he wiped the floor clean with them.
Yeah.
Wiped the floor clean with them. Okay, so the more people came from a position of caring about each other, the better was the outcome for all concerned. That was January. So now we're moving into February. And February is going to be the month of expansion. There's going to be a great deal of increase all over the planet to do with communication. Now, it's also the month energy of the personal month or the universal month energy of the triangle. So the base had to be created. And this is what is done when you look at everything that he's done, and also with the generals, he's put everything into place. So he's had to do this solid foundation and then build on top of that, so that therefore whatever happens is going to stay. It's not going to disintegrate. So the base had to be created, and it had to be created solid. And now this was perfected in January. And now to move forward, we have to expect the unexpected. Time for individuals to start speaking their truth. The sleepers will be given a big jolt. Now they will be given an opportunity to either wake up or will live in the circumstances created by chaos. So it's going to be a very, very interesting month. Now, I also get a huge sudden shock will be played out, affecting all. However, those who are awake will simply go with the flow. There is a way out. Those who are awake will automatically be given directions in the form of gut feelings. So if you trust them, you will always be in the right place at the right time. So now more than ever would be a good time for all of you to say my morning mantra every day. And please remember to add, if you aren't already doing so, to add into that morning mantra, I now request that all evil in all of its forms is removed from the planet now, in big capital letters, right? Because there is a lot to move. So if we can all say that, and we all say that together, just adding that, and I will repeat that now. Okay. I now request that all evil in all of its forms is removed from the planet now. And as we've talked about in the past a lot, Bryce, in regard to the hundreds monkey. When the monkeys were doing with their sweet potatoes on one island, after a certain period of time, all of a sudden the monkeys on islands miles away on the other side of the planet were doing the same thing with their sweet potatoes. So this is like when people are focusing in and saying something together all at the same time, it's got this energy behind it. that will then see manifestation actually happening. Now, from the 1st to the 18th, your focus needs to be directed toward humanity and prayers said every night to support those who are oblivious to what is going on, for them to wake up and join their fellow man on the new journey. So that's from the 1st until the 18th. Your focus needs to be directed toward humanity and prayers said every night to support those who are oblivious to what is going on, for them to wake up and join their fellow man on the new journey. Okay, anything that hasn't surfaced regarding the evil side of religion will surface from the 19th until the 28th, with a big realization surfacing around the 14th.
Ooh, well, you know, it's been really exposed now. What's really coming to head now here? I don't know if it's happening in Australia. Erica Kirk,
Oh,
turning point.
yeah,
People
no,
are,
not here in Australia, but like you know, how I, listen to the shows and follow certain shows and things like that. Yeah, it comes up, it comes up, it
she
comes
is
up.
just evil, evil, evil. Most people are saying she's not even human. That's how evil she is. And turning point, it's being exposed like crazy. They are behind Charlie
Yep,
Kirk's
yep,
assassination. It's bad, and they're trying to silence people by using the Bible. So they're weaponizing God basically to get people to stop talking. God
yeah,
bless Candace Owens. If something ever happens to me, make sure Candace Owens is on the case,
yeah.
because
I
she
mean,
is
like she is, yeah, she is amazing, yeah. But then what you've also got is that you've got all of these people that have been programmed in
yeah.
regard to Turning Point, but then that was Charlie, yeah,
Well, those
and
well, and there was a TikTok that was fantastic. I think I reposted it, where this guy said, "You're really starting to see whose soul is aligned with God and whose soul isn't. The people
yeah,
whose soul is aligned, they see Erica Kirk for who she really is.
yeah.
They see the
Well, I
cold-blooded.
saw now. There's something, okay. Now, all of you that have never, like seen me before or heard about me before. I talk about other people on other shows and I acknowledge them, yeah,
Yeah,
and then I share who it is. The People's Voice. He did a beauty on Erica,
me
and
too.
the tattoos, and actually showed like a white tattoo here and a white tattoo here, and then symbols like on here, but it's white. It's white. So
I need to watch
it's
that,
not,
because when that's I know I've told this story before, but when that ceremony, we were up in the mountains. We had just done like a 10-mile hike, and we were exhausted, and we came back. And we don't have internet up there, so we just turned the TV on, and it was the memorial service, and we turned on right as she was like fake crying at the podium and doing this with her hands. And my boyfriend goes, "Turn it off. This is black magic. Turn it
yep,
off. This is a
yep,
black magic." And I felt the same thing. I felt this like
yep.
just gut reaction, like that she was doing something. There was
Oh
some
yeah.
spell
Oh, she
cast.
sure was. But I say to people, always look at people's eyes
Yep,
and then look at their mouth. Yeah.
her eyes where she
Like
does this. Yeah,
her eyes, and but her mouth goes down. It's because if I meet friends or clients and meet a new guy in their life, I'll just go, I don't like his mouth. I don't like him. I don't like him. I don't like his mouth. His mouth is no, don't like it. Don't like his mouth.
that I'm gonna have to remember that. Well, that is literally turning people, like people who are hardcore Christians. I think they're realizing how manipulated they've been by people claiming someone can say they're anything. Doesn't mean they
That's
are.
right.
You
That's
know,
right. And then how people want to believe.
they want
But
to believe.
also another thing with I work with people that have been involved in like with Scientology, and then our gorgeous friend,
Yeah,
what she got caught up in, and it's because they want to belong.
yeah.
They
No,
want to
nobody joined
belong.
the
They
cult
want
to
to
join a
be,
good thing. Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, they want to belong to something. They want to be a part of. And I go, you know, what you have to learn to do is you have to learn to stand on your own 2 feet and be your own person. And it's not about belonging to this or belonging to that to get your security. You've got to
Yeah,
get that security within you. Okay, so
absolutely.
now what have we got? So
So
all
19th
forms to
through the
remove. So
28th is
the first to the 18th, I did that.
yeah, we stopped at
Your
the 19th
focus,
through the
the focus
28th.
needs, so the 19th. Oh, right. Okay. So anything that hasn't surfaced regarding the evil side of religion will surface from the 19th until the 28th, with a big realization surfacing around the 14th. Okay. So that's going to be interesting.
St.
Um,
Valentine's Day, yeah.
Yep. Blocks and difficulties that have stopped or blocked those working on the exposure of the deep seated evil, pain, and suffering the churches have inflicted on humanity will start will start to really see the light of day.
Good,
Okay. Well,
good.
that's going to be an interesting one. Now, a lot of idealistic thoughts and communication will take up a lot of time from the 1st until the 26th, when confusion may take over, lasting until the 28th. Well, that's good because it's only like a couple of days. Being pragmatic regarding all relationships will be beneficial on the 1st until the 9th. I actually typed it all up this time. Look, haven't am I good? Instead of having pieces of paper with my writing scrawling all over it, me trying to find where I'm linked into whatever. So it will be beneficial the 1st until the 9th, when idealistic thoughts could cloud your judgment. So please trust your gut feelings concerning all relationships from the 10th until the 28th. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. So then new directions will be ruling your career, with many of you looking at other options that best suit where your life is at or what feels right. Digestive issues tend to rule the day digestive issues tend to rule the day this month. So this is like every day. Keeping your intake to as many clean, preferably organic foods as possible would be advisable. Also, taking digestive enzymes or certain foods that support the digestive system would be a really great move. Now, so what's happened when we have things going on in the outside world and we find it hard to digest
Yeah.
it?
Yep.
What happens is that our digestive system starts to malfunction because there's so much going on and we're trying to digest that or this or that, or do I trust this person? Do I trust that? Do I follow this? Do I follow that? So it's like it's got us into like a bit of a dilemma state. Yeah. And that dilemma state then creates the digestion because I can't digest what's going on, and then
Right.
it starts to affect your digestive system. So doing that is a really, really good idea. Just get onto some digestive enzymes. Yeah.
I
Okay.
so with that too, I'm gonna because I struggle hardcore with digestion problems my whole life. Super important, guys, that you give your digestive system a break. So make sure you don't snack at night, like after dinner. Just go to bed and like give your digestive. That's called why it's called break fast, right?
Yeah.
Breakfast. You have to
Yeah.
give that. So give your digestive system a break, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. For those who haven't focused their energy on their health, then like now is the time, especially from the 14th, when things get fired up. We also have the second phase. Oh, see, I see the new year. So when people celebrate the new year, I go, no, okay. We have 3 energies to do with the new year. So we have the 1st of January, which is the Western way of
Yeah.
doing it. Then we bring in the Chinese. So we actually have, so we're going now, the second one will come in on the 17th
Yep.
of February, and that's going to be the fire hoist. I love it. The fire horse, and it will join the Western World New Year energy, right? That commenced on the 1st of January. So on the 17th of February, in comes that fire horse energy, which is then going to pick up that Western energy that started on the 1st of January. And then we know, Bryce, that when I did the whole thing to do with 2026, that is all about brand new beginnings of a whole new 9-year cycle. So when we were doing last year was endings, and now it's time to move. So the fact that we're in the energy of that is so powerful, and it's all of these new beginnings, and then we get the fire horse on the 17th of February that is then going to fire up that energy of the individuality and the leadership. Whew, okay. We then await the real new year that I call the third energy. And then that completes the triangle. See? So we've got the triangle. So we've got the triangle energy. And all of that will be completed on the 21st of March when the sun moves into Aries, and that's really the beginning of the astrological cycle.
Yeah.
So yes, they decided to make it January, but it's really like the 21st of March. It's when the Aries comes into play.
January, that's the god Janus. And so there's a lot of occultic reasons for
Yeah. But of
it's
course,
bullshit. Yeah, it's not the new year.
Of course. But also people that have been losing hair. It's like I had a lot of hair loss that came in as well. But you need to check on your Chinese astrology, because I'm soggy wood. Right? I'm a rabbit, but I've got soggy wood, so I get damp. And when you have too much damp in your system, you'll start to lose your hair. So you've got to have the fire. The fire's got to go in, and that actually dries out the damp. Yeah. So then things become strong again. So just know that once we get the fire horse in and happening, it's like you'll find that your hair is going to start really improving, right? Because so many women have had the problem with the hair. Now, you can expect a lot of determination to rule the days as you journey February 2026. Now, there's a lot of military action surfacing left, right, and center that seems like they are the leaders, and we have no control over what happens. Okay? So a lot to do with military, but we will feel that we are not in control, that they're sort of coming in as leaders and taking over. Okay? But little does a lot of humanity know. Okay? So you will now know everything is perfect and being acted out with precision. All we have to do is stand back, stay out of the way, and trust. Just know that all is perfect. Everything will be done at the right time in the best possible way to support the world being the way God planned it to be. The age of Aquarius is well and truly doing its thing. It's time for your knees to hit the floor and for you to pray like you've never prayed before. Okay. Stay away from all forms of mainstream media. and delete anything. Right, yeah, okay. And delete anything part of the awakened army on social media that spreads fear, anger, or anything negative. For you just have to know that they are imposters. Those part of the real awakened army, Anons, will only present information to empower, information that will make you feel positive. Right. Now, do you have any questions so far, Brycey, before I go into, you know how I do certain dates through the month?
No, that's actually, I will say, going back to the 17th, which is the Lunar New Year, the year of the horse. That's also a new moon. So what that means is
Really?
that
Okay.
it's going to be blacked out. And so when we look at the patterning of the moon, that's where we get the word month from, right? That's the moon.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
new moon, where it's completely dark, that is always every month the start of new beginnings anyway. So it's interesting that they've got it marked on a new moon in February. And I will say too, guys, watch your energy levels around new moon. You're going to feel a little bit more lethargic. Whereas a full moon, you're going to feel a little bit more energetic.
Yes.
So I wanted to point that out. And that's also for the United States. That's the day after President's Day, which we are always off on President's Day, the 16th. So I have a feeling they've scheduled President's Day because, you know, the occult, they watch these things too. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here we go with our specific dates. So what's your emotions on the 2nd when things could get heated? Idealism will rule on the 4th, with a more balanced approach on the 6th and the 7th. Now, people saying, oh, you missed out. You didn't do the 1st and you didn't do the 3rd. And I go, no, that's right. Because when you've got this that comes in on the 2nd, that energy is going to be felt on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Right? It's still going to be there. Okay. Okay. Idealism will rule on the 4th, and therefore that idealistic is then, and it's saying with a more balanced approach on the 6th and the 7th. But on the 5th, it's still going to have that idealism that's going to be there. Intensity will rule the day on the 8th and the 9th. Ah, that's interesting. Things surfacing about blackmail is being indicated. Okay, let's have a look at that one, Brycey. On the 8th and the 9th, let's just see what's going on out there in the world to do with blackmail.
Write that down, guys. Let's keep our eyes peeled.
Yeah, on the 8th and the 9th.
We have people all over the world, so.
Yeah, this will lead to fiery confrontations on the 11th and the 12th, with a practical, logical approach descending on the 13th and the 14th. Now, then we go into another lot of energy that I do. And it said idealism will rule on the 1st and the 17th, with a push-pull energy surfacing on the 18th and the 19th. Another big dose of fire on the 20th and the 21st is indicated, which will join the fire horse energy that graced our paths on the 17th. Ooh, okay. So there we are with our fire horse that comes in on the 17th, but then on the 20th and the 21st, we get a big dose of fire. So we're going to have triple fire. Triple fire is going to be taking place. Interesting. And that's on the 20th and the 21st.
And that's where okay, so guys, so fire horse is rare, just for Chinese zodiac, and it occurs every 60 years. So this is transformative energy, but what's interesting, I find what's interesting is the fire horse, the fire. Well, Aquarian isn't what? It's an air sign. Air and fire together is explosive.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah, yeah. The digging in of heels will be needed on the 22nd and the 23rd. So let's just see what Trump is doing. So obviously something's going to be coming, and he's just going to be digging in his heels about something. Yeah, so that's going to be fascinating. With a huge breakthrough to do with communication, the 24th, 25th, and 26th. So the digging in of the heels on the 22nd and the 23rd, with a huge breakthrough to do with communication on the 24th, 25th, 26th. Right. But we find that with him, yeah, because it like he digs in his heels and says like whatever, and then the others, they come to heel. Yeah, they come to heel, and they go, oh, well, they have agreed to it. Okay. So keep an eye on your emotions at the end of the month, when things could very easily be misconstrued. Okay, so that's that part. So everybody that tuned in just to hear the predictions for the month, you can go now, because we've got more to talk about.
If you would like to join us for part 2, where we go into current affairs, current events, please find part 2 over on RUMBLE. That's RUMBLE, Esoteric Atlanta. Same channel name. You'll see part 2, the same thumbnail, but it will say part 2. See you guys over on the other platform.